host star, but I guess it's pretty big. Anyway, it was Callen talking about everything.
So many podcasts.
Yeah, I know. It was Callen talking about everything since the accusations, but he was breaking down how everything went, like on the insides that, the inside sources that like what he was dealing with and shit. And because I like the way he actually handled that shit, opposite of Chris D'Elia. And I just thought it was interesting because he was saying, because I was the one thinking, he came out and denied everything and put a video and went and played the offense 100%. He's out touring right now. Like he's at the Miami Improv this weekend. He's doing a podcast with Sam Tripoli. He's starting another podcast with Steve Simone, I think. Why the fuck did he walk away from Fighter and the Kid? Then I watched him on this podcast and he broke it all down. And then it makes sense where it's
he niched down.
All the sponsors pulled out. So for Fighter and the Kid, if he was going to continue to be honest, so he can't fuck over his partner, Schaub. So he has to leave so Schaub can still have sponsors and make money, and he has to start fresh basically. And that all made sense. But the way he came out and said he played,
it's all about the money, man.
He played the offense, which I completely am a fan of because I never see anybody do it. D'Elia just fucking cowered and gave out like a written whatever and disappeared.
Don't talk about D'Elia, dude. We're gonna get hate mail
on social media or anything. And then Callen did the opposite, where he did an Instagram video of his face saying it was all bullshit, this, that, and the third. And he's still striving on creating content, continuing on his own road. And I think that's cool because I think that you should do that if you know you're innocent. So I just thought that was very nice. That episode's really good because he explains all the shit and how it was bullshit. And it's also, he was saying, he's like, if somebody could come after me, somebody who didn't pop off until 3 or 4 years ago, he was saying how shitty his career has been and how he didn't really get a following till like 3 years ago. He's like 55.
It's all business.
If you can come after me, if you come after me 21 years later, you come at somebody like us has no shot because you can come in to them whenever. So it was just very interesting. And him denying it and still being able to fucking tour and live on and create content and do all those other shit. Because somebody like a Chris D'Elia just disappeared. He hasn't done shit. And I'm like, that's fucking terrible. He might never be able to come back. I think that's the kicker. You have to power through it rather than like simmering down because it's going to be that much harder to get yourself back to where you were. If you just power through it, deny it, come out, keep podcasting, keep doing live shows and everything, and people still want to fuck with you, it's like you never took a step back. So there was just a blip, and now you're still going to be good. If you take a step back and like disappear off the radar, you could be fucked forever.
That's funny you say that because I was just recently watching.
What?
I said T.I. just went through something like that.
Oh, the rapper?
Oh, yeah. I was just recently watching a 50 Cent Ja Rule thing, and what's so interesting as you were talking about that is 50 Cent, one of the reasons he won the beef was he kept putting out music after he almost got killed by them, like shot by like the Supreme Team and all that. And he was just really persistent and he wasn't as famous yet. And then Murder Inc. had a case where Irv Gotti and Chris Gotti had a case. So Ja Rule wasn't able to put out music and talk about stuff like that will be incriminating or dissing 50 Cent back. So he put a hold on his music, and that probably cost him his music career because he had to wait it out. And 50 Cent was coming with bangers, signing with Shady Aftermath, Eminem. So basically the moral of the story is like, if you're silent for a long time, it could help you in the court of law winning a case. But for your like entertainment career, it could fuck you because people might move on or they'll think you're guilty or other stuff like that.
Yeah.
What happened with T.I.?
Pretty interesting, like when you're a comic that's going through like a Callen situation or something where it's almost like yeah, you didn't have to go to court, or maybe you did have to go to court, but it's almost like the shows after that is like the first tour is almost like you're performing for a jury. You know what I mean? Like you say something kind of wrong or off, or it's so easy for somebody to come see, because like the whole point of people coming to see you in the first place is because of probably that. Like they want to see subconsciously, like I kind of want to see if this motherfucker really did that shit or not. Like, I don't know.
That's why you have to own it, I think. Yeah.
And like anyone who goes to see him now is oblivious to the situation. They don't know, and they just go to see a comedy show. Like
they have no idea, or they forgot.
Yeah.
Or
like my buddy does. He just picks out comedians. He Googles them, or they're hardcore fans. So he's winning. He's like niching down for his hardcore fan base.
But
it's
also
kind of weird.
Or also hardcore fans going hand in hand with that they believe that he's innocent. Like there's no reason not believe.
But I'm saying
also,
you also get people who are just so oblivious and go.
Also, the best part of that podcast episode was he breaks down when the allegations first came out. His lawyers and his publicists were calling him, telling him to do this, that, and the third, to like stand down, to just do a written response like D'Elia, and he said, fuck you, all that. And he tells the whole story. He said, fuck you, I'm not doing that. Fuck you, I'm not doing that. He like fired his publicist or some shit. And he did the live Instagram video of his face denying everything and playing the offense. And I was like, fuck yes, because I was telling D'Elia and other guys to do that when it happens to them. And he says, it's like, if you don't do that, then you're probably guilty. That's what he says. And I was like, fuck yeah, you are. So I think that was great. He goes in, he breaks down in the file all because the women that accused him were women that he had been friends with for years, that he had been intimate with, whatever. And he gets all conversations with them, messages, emails. He gets all this shit, puts it in a file, sends it to his lawyer and his publicist and says, look, read through all of this shit and then believe me that I'm innocent. And they did, and they believed that he was innocent. And his publicist was like this feminist female who like goes after these guys, and she believed him and did not, and said he was innocent and defended him. So he did it to the end of the earth to prove that he was innocent, and it was bullshit. It could never go to court because there was no evidence. Just
jerk off and use a fleshlight. Don't even have sex with women if you're trying to make it entertainment now.
It was also 22 years ago. Like so, it should. No, I like Callen for that reason. Like he goes in detail on the podcast about the shit he had to do.
He also like gambled and won, because usually with something like that, unfortunately, you have to take that route because you might say the wrong thing.
But your lawyer advises you.
All it takes is for you to pause a little bit longer than most, or look up into the sky or something for somebody to be like, nope, you did it. You know
I personally think if you don't come out and deny it and take all the proof that you're innocent, then you're guilty.
No loyalty in West Coast
comedy. If you just simmer
comedy.
down and put your tail between your legs, then there's something, you're hiding something.
No, I think that you should go written as soon as you can, going whatever is going on. Like I can only say that these are the furthest things from true, and I'm willing to prove that in court. But.
And they didn't even the girls who accused him. There wasn't even enough evidence for it to go to court.
Just become a rapper. You could get away with anything.
He's still selling out. That's the kicker. He's still selling out and doing well. So it's like the hardcore fans know that it's a lie, and it's not. And it's not just a lie because he said this is a lie. It's because he proved that it's a lie to his lawyer and his publicist and everybody. So I think it's cool because him and the D'Elia thing happened within like a month of each other. And I'm saying for the future, whenever it happens again, I think that's what you got to do unless you're trying to hide something. And luckily there hasn't been like a comic canceled since then, really. Marilyn Manson.
Well, it's open to interpretation though, because like you really only know how you would react to that situation once it happens to you.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And once again, not saying that not saying that people that claim they've been sexually assaulted or lying. I think everybody should have a fair chance at, like if that happened, yeah, like go after whoever. But if that didn't